Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from group 6 and we will explain about discourse analysis. The member of group, first Fadhilah, desi, handayani, second Tamya, Mangir, gayatri, and third Mariam, kusniah. And let's get started. What is discourse analysis? The word discourse is usually defined as language beyond the sentence, and so the analysis of discourse is typically concerned with the study of language in text and conversation. Moving on to the interpreting discourse, there are the example. This example may serve to illustrate a simple point about the way we react to language that contains ungrammatical forms. Rather than simply reject the text as ungrammatical, we try to make sense of it. That is, we attempt to arrive at a reasonable interpretation of what the writer intended to convey. Most people say they understand the my tone text quite easily. Next, conversation analysis. In simple terms, English conversation can be described as an activity in which, for the most part, two or more people take turn at speaking. Typically, only one person speaks at a time, and there tends to be an avoidance of silence between speaking turns. This is not true in all situations or societies. If more than one participant tries to talk at the same time, one of them usually stops.
The next is turn-taking. In conversation analysis, turn-taking is termed for the manner in which orderly conversation normally takes place. A basic understanding can come right from the term itself as the notion that people in conversation take turns in speaking. D is the cooperative principle. The cooperative principle describes how people achieve effective conversational communication in common social situations. That is how listener and speaker act cooperatively in a mutually accept one another to be understood in a particular way. The cooperative principle is stated in the following way: mention, make your conversational contribution such as is required at the stake at which it occurs by the accept, purpose, or direction of the talk exchange in which you are engaged. Supporting this principle are four maxims, often called the Grecian maxims. First is the quantity maxims. Mention, make your contribution as informative as is required, but not more or less than is required. The next is the quality maxim. Mention that don't say that which you believe to be false or for which you lack adequate evidence. The next is the relation maxim. Mention, be relevant. And the last is manner maxim. Mention, be clear, brief, and orderly. Hedges. Hedges can be defined as words or phrases used to indicate that we're not really sure that what we're saying is sufficiently correct or complete. We can use sort of or kind of as hedges on the accuracy of our statement, as in description, such as his hair was kind of long, or the book cover is sort of yellow, rather than it is yellow. These are examples of hedges on the quality maxim. The next is implicatures. When we try to analyze how hedges work, we usually talk about speakers implying something that is not said. Similarly, in considering what the woman meant by sandwich is sandwich, we decide that she was implying that the sandwich was not worth talking about. With the cooperative principle and the maxim as guides, we can start to work out how people actually decide that someone is implying something in conversation.
E. Background knowledge. An information that is not in a text but is used for memory by a reader to understand the text is background knowledge. For example, last week he had been unable to control the class. It was unfair of the math teacher to leave him in charge. After all, it is not a normal part of a janitor's duties. The example provides us with some insight into the ways in which we build interpretation of what we read by using a lot of more information than is presented in the words on the page. That is, we actually create what the text is about based on our expectation of what normally happens. Schema and script. Schema and script are two terms that comprise the background knowledge. Schema and script tells us what is actually the real situation and what are actions. The general term for a conventional knowledge structure that exists in memory is a schema, and then a script is essentially a dynamic of schema in which conventional action takes place. The schema of a supermarket holds the knowledge, food displayed on shelves, checkout counters, etc. While in script, such actions are involved as going to movies, eating in a restaurant, etc.
Okay, that's it, our presentation. I apologize if there are any mistake. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.